everybody, I'm so excited to see you here today. We're going to be making literally one of my favorite crafts to make with on a big scale or anything like that, and obviously that is the Coir welcome doormats. There's so many different words that I want to use. I feel like I need to like keyword stuff the word all the time, the title. So I'm very excited for this live stream. I'm just moving my mic a little bit closer. Sorry that I'm late. StreamYard wouldn't recognize my camera for some reason. You know, it's one of those things, you set everything up beforehand, and then when it comes time to go live, then it's just not there. So I am going to put the comments on the screen because this video will be available for 48 hours for you guys to watch, maybe a little bit longer, maybe until the next live stream or just after the next live stream. And then from then onwards, it's going to go into the VIP pass where you'll be able to watch it ad-free, however many times you want. So I am very, very excited for today. This is one of the longer crafts in this event, and I did want to add in a couple of like slightly longer crafts for those of you who might not have, or might have a little bit more time on your hands is probably a better way of saying it. Because I mean, sometimes we want to get like 12 presents done, but then sometimes you have that one person or two people or three people that you want to spend just a little bit more time on. And I wanted to give you guys the option to be able to have some more fun, some more love going into your gifts. And I also wanted to show you my t-shirt today. So today we have Elf saying, "Oh my God, Santa." So let me know if you guys are a sucker for a Christmas movie. I, again, am a sucker for a Christmas movie. And my hair is all pulled back today in Dutch braids. It's looking a little bit fuzzy, but it's fine. I love having my hair back, especially when I'm working with paint and things like that. I figured that it would be a little bit easier for me to like focus when I'm working with paint and having everything a little bit further back. So I'm so happy that so many of you are here with me today, and I'm very excited to get started. So I hope that you guys have, yay, Cheryl, love it. Thank you so much. And we have the amazing Audrey behind the scenes with us today. So everybody show some love for Audrey. She's been helping me so much, and you may have, if you sent an email or something like that, you may have been chatting to Audrey over email. She's amazing. She's just such a lovely person, and I'm just so grateful that she's helping me with this event. So give a little bit of love for Audrey in the chat. Don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you very much. That's a good point. Yeah, so it's great to have her here, and she's going to be helping with questions and things like that. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on the screen. I'm going to try and focus on what I'm doing, but Audrey will be able to like highlight the questions. So make sure that you put a question mark in your message so that it comes up, because on our side it shows like a little question mark on the side whenever you have a question. So she'll be able to then easily see that you have a question for me. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat throughout the project. At any stage in the project, if you have a question about what I'm doing or something else, you know, go ahead, feel free to ask. And the lovely Audrey will help me make sure that I get your questions answered. So what I'm going to do is the link to the drive that you guys have to be able to grab your products, your free SVGs and things like that. That is, okay, I'm just going to paste that there because I have it open like permanently. So make sure that you guys check out the drive to be able to grab the downloads for your own welcome mats and the VIP pass holders. That's already been loaded into the portal. You guys obviously get, I couldn't stop myself when it came to these designs. I made so many. I made way more than like I said, it started out with 70 bonus SVGs, and I think we're at 80 or 90 at some point. So you can just check that out and see what's going on. So I see there, Becky says that our download today was slippers, but you're doing mats. So we have kind of like a double up every second day where we're doing a pre-recorded video that goes live on YouTube for 24 hours. And then we're also going to have these live streams. So you get double the amount of projects to be able to do. So the slippers video went live 4 hours ago. And in the download folder, you can get 2 different zip files. So there's the slippers zip file and the welcome mat as well, the Coir mat. You can grab both of those if you like. Every file will have its own name, so you can check it out there. And then you'll be able to grab both of those. So we're doing the Coir mat live because I just really enjoy doing live streams. So yes, Sarah, absolutely. I'm trying to give you as many options as you can to be able to complete all of your gifts this year. Very excited to be able to share all of these with you. So I'm going to be uploading one of the designs into Design Space, and I'm going to be working with that. I've already uploaded it into Design Space, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to just hop into Cricut Design Space quick. And if you guys want me to like expand the screen so that there's not, maybe I will do that for, oh, is it just showing backwards on my side? Or, and now I'm showing you StreamYard, sorry. Oh, and I don't even have my own camera on for that particular. Oh, you're looking at my Pachimari. Oh my word, you guys you'd swear that this is my first rodeo. This is just cropped screen. Let's take the Canon away and let's go with the 1 second. I'm just adding another media source to it. Gina says the workbook today doesn't seem to have a link attached. What do you mean it doesn't have a link attached? Can you not click on any of the links in the workbook? I thought I'd check that out. Because if you can't, then that's problematic. But I will obviously I will be able to fix it after the live stream, not during the live stream. Love this platform and having more gifting ideas. It's so great. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Gifting ideas are always kind of challenging. And that's why I just wanted to do so many. And I'm probably kicking myself in the face for next year because I'm absolutely going to be doing this next year, but I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. And let's just do that. There we go. And there we go. Wow, that took way longer. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing this next year, but I'm going to have to, it's going to be difficult to get all of the presentations. Let me just move this so that I'm a little bit more in the middle of the frame. There we go. Okay. It doesn't appear, it doesn't open or download. It just blinks and it takes me to the top. That's very interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Gina. I will take a look into that and see what is going on because that's not cool. See, like, it's also one of those things. Every now and then there's going to be like a tiny little bit of teething issues. Judy, I posted the link. Maybe we could actually pin that link. Oh, sorry. I need to figure out how to do that without switching the screen, because then otherwise it's going to look funny every time, but it should be fine. I don't think that there is a way to pin it for me, the comment, but what you can do is Audrey can just, I keep clicking in the comments. Kelly, stop clicking in the comments. You guys can just share the, or Audrey, you can share the Drive link again. I shared it a few minutes ago. So I'm going to get started with the project. So now when it comes to making your Coir mat, now the one that I have is just a standard Coir mat. Move all my stuff out the way. And I can actually switch back to the webcam view now. So this is, I try and keep them in the bag, especially when I first get them, because they've got all those little thingies. It's just a standard Coir doormat, all right? It's got like these little fibers. They look super cool. My cats love these mats, which is another reason why I keep it in the bag, because otherwise then by the time it gets time to me to use it, they've been like scratched up and it's another story. So it's a 60 by 40. I'm not sure what that is in freedom units, probably 18 inches by, or 15 inches by, 16 inches by 24 inches, I think. Yeah, 16 inches by 24 inch doormat. So what I do is I always start with, like I've done for quite a few of the other videos, is I start with a, oh, now you're looking at the Coir mat again. I don't know. I don't know why it's done that. Anyway, I start with making a stencil. All right. So, or not a stencil, a template. That's the word. So I'm going to click on shapes, and then I'm going to just add a square or a rectangle to my canvas. And then I'm going to make sure that it is the size of the project that I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to come up to the top right of the screen, and I'm going to click on, you see now it's going to change all of those to, that's fine. You guys can just look at the at the Coir mat for a little bit, because it's on the camera that's just above me there. So we're going to change that to the dimensions that we have our Coir mat, so we can make sure that everything is the correct size, because I don't know about you guys, but I always struggle with the size of the items that I'm actually making. So the width is going to be 60 centimeters, or in your case, it would be 24 inches. So we're going to make that 60. And then I'm going to unlock the proportions so that I can change the height, because it's currently a square, which our doormat is obviously not a square. So I need to make the height 40 centimeters, or in your case, it would be 18 inches. And then we have the correctly sized doormat. All right, now I'm going to send it to the back, and I'm going to change it to the color to brown, just because I like to know that that's the doormat. You do download the doormats. I will update them and share a new one, and I'll post about it in the Facebook group. All right, and then I'm just going to change the size of my actual design so that it fits, or at least it's the size that I want it to be. Now, for those of you that may be rather astute, you will know that this design is way too big to cut on a Cricut by itself. So what we need to do is kind of cut it up a little bit. You can cut it in half, however which way you want to cut it is totally fine. Because the size of the design that I'm going to use is 51 by 13. Yes, you can download the workbook. I will check in on the links to see why they're not working when we're done. So what we're going to do is slice this design. All right. What I have done with this, so if you are a VIP, you would have access to this exact file. This is one of the VIP files. There are quite a few that are available in the free ones, but this one is the VIP. So what I'm going to do with this one is I've left it actually in groups. So each of the elements are separate. And the reason I've done that is to allow you to portion it out yourself if you really want to. So you don't have to it's not more challenging to separate the pieces. If you want it to just be one element, that's fine. Then all you need to do is just click on combine and weld, or you actually need to click the button and then it makes it one solid object. All right. So just one extra step, but it allows you the flexibility to pull out the stars, or maybe move a few things around if you want them to be a little bit in different places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half, so that I'm going to do two pieces at the same time, or two pieces of the vinyl, one on the one side and one on the other side of the mat, and kind of layer it like that. So I also saw somebody say that they have they just got the Caesar. Oh, Gina, your husband bought you a Caesar Romeo bundle. I'm so jealous. We don't even have the Caesar Romeo down here. I think we have the Juliet. I think. Anyway, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two more shapes to the canvas. And I'm going to use those to slice the design. Now, the shape that I'm going to add to my canvas is going to be the maximum size that I can cut on my machine. Because it's 51, if I have to cut it in 2 pieces, I can get 20, if we're going to be really, really specific, 25.6 centimeters on each side. But I do want to have a little bit of overlap so that they aren't perfectly lined up in the middle. I want to have about a 2 or 3 centimeter overlap, or about a 1-inch overlap, just to make sure that I'm getting everything lined up, because that's the trickiest part, lining everything up. So I'm going to just duplicate this design. I duplicated the wrong thing. We duplicate the design and pull the one off to the side. I'm going to move that one out the way. And I'm going to change this color to blue, and I'm going to send it to the back so that I can see where I'm going to line it up. All right. And I'm also going to duplicate that one as well, so that I can make sure that they overlap on each other. You can also see welcome to the zoo. Oh my word, yes. That would be a good one. I should have done that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line them up, and I'm going to make sure that I'm overlapping. Let's change this square to 29.2, just to make sure that I'm not overcommitting something here. Okay, so what I need to do is one of 2 things. I can either cut this in 2 lengthways pieces and cut it through the middle, which I think is going to be the easiest way to line up, because of the fact that the sections aren't, or I'm trying to figure out what would be that's kind of what I do with these projects, is I figure out where would be the easiest way to separate them and the easiest place to line up. The trickiest place to line up would be here in the middle. So maybe what I will do, but that is going to be the size that's going to waste the least vinyl, is if I line it up somewhere on the M and the E, that little section. So I'm going to unlock the proportions there, and I'm going to make the height of this project, let's say 40. I mean the square, I'm going to turn that into a little rectangle. So it's going to be 11.5 inches by, what is 40, will probably be like, what, 15, 14 inches or something like that. We should have a craft party. Oh, yes. That sounds like fun. I know that you're probably talking about an in-person craft party in the US, but I'm going to hop on that craft party train. That sounds like fun. All right. So then I'm going to just line these 2 up. And like I said, I want to overlap them as much as I can. Also keeping in mind that it would probably be easier to overlap them. Life really is a 3-ring circus at times. Oh my word, yes. It really, really is. I love that. A craft party really would be fun. Am I welcome to the craft party? Yay, thank you. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap them on the E. So I think that might be the easiest way. So I've kind of lined them up so that I'm sure that they're going to be overlapping. But I'm going to double check, because knowing my luck, you know. Okay. And I can see that they definitely are going to be overlapping there. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slice the one, and I'm going to delete everything that's outside of the block. And then I'm going to slice the other, and again, delete everything that is outside of the block. So we're left with the 2 blocks with the pieces over. And then I'm going to delete everything else that I don't need. I'm just going to keep the black pieces. All right. Now we have the 2 halves of our design, and we can see they line up perfectly right there. Now, what I'm not going to do is add them into a square and make it like a stencil. So what that does to the design is it means that you are essentially, I mean, because this design we're going to be cutting the negative of anyway. So we can pretty much just cut straight away. So I'm going to just hide that, and I'm going to save my project because I've done a lot of work on this and I'm proud. Okay, so let's do welcome Matt live stream. How long can you be away from home? I think you have enough Americans wanting you to come and craft with them. You could travel the country with free room and board. Oh, I love that. Imagine that. That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I could leave tomorrow and come back February. It sounds like fun. Yes, Audrey, no problem. Job perk. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're then going to click make. And we're going to get started with cutting our project. Okay, so it's giving me a warning and it's telling me that one of the designs is bigger than 29.2, sorry, 11.5 inches, and it has to put it on the long mat, which is fine because I've already prepared for the 12 by 24 inch mat. So no problem. But what I want to do to this design, you see how it automatically aligns it on that side. I want to pull it over so that there's a little bit of space at the top and a little bit of space at the bottom. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm messy. I know that we've established this. And when it comes to cutting things, I need to have a border of extra space around the edge because I can guarantee you I am going to mess something up. So the border is there to help prevent me from messing up. So I'm going to check that one and make sure that the section that needs to overlap is right on the border, on the edge, and that there's a little bit of extra space on the other. And I'm going to do the same on this one, but just in the opposite direction, because the one is the panel on the left and the other one is the panel on the right. So the panel on the right needs to be moved down a little bit, but it's already with the closest side on the left-hand side, if that makes sense. So we're cutting it down the middle and we're putting the one part right to that side and the other part we're putting right to the middle as well, so that it cuts as close to the border as possible. I saw my mom is here as well. My mom's Gina. She says she also, what about me? I also want to go. You're of course welcome, always. Okay, so I've pulled it down a little bit away from the edge at the top just to allow myself a little bit of room for error, because that's going to happen. And what do you mean your weather is awful at this time? I love this weather. I cannot wait to go to the US at this time of year. Oh, it'll be amazing. It's hot here at the moment. Well, it's not particularly hot today, but we're in summer, so no thank you for me. Oh, I'm so glad, Sherry. You've avoided larger than matte projects because of this. No, don't. Please don't. You know what I love about larger than matte projects, especially projects like this one, okay? My absolute favorite thing about these projects is, you know how every now and then you buy some vinyl and then you don't like the color? Or you buy some vinyl and you've had it for 6 months to a year and it's kind of not really working very well. The nice thing about these projects, particularly ones that involve a stencil that's single use that you're going to throw away, if you don't like the color, you have old vinyl that you know doesn't stick well, or old HTV that you've had for 3 or 5 years or however, because this stuff does expire after a while. This is the perfect project for them. You don't need to go out and buy special stencil vinyl. You can, because it's great, but you don't have to. You don't have to go out and buy anything special for these projects because you're going to use it once and then you won't be able to use it again. You can try, but you won't be able to. And if you mess up, because I mean, I have, of course, the chances of me aligning everything on this mat, close to 0, but it's fine because it's handmade. Handmade is not supposed to be perfect. All right. So because we're going to be using this as a once-off, use the old vinyl, use the colors that you don't like, use the colors that you bought the wrong color of, any vinyl that you have lying around that you have no idea what you're going to do with, this is the project for that. So I'm all about reduce, reuse, recycle. And in this case, having vinyl lying around that you're not going to use, you're going to reuse it, or you're going to recycle it, or you're going to reduce, or something like that, just for this kind of a project. It's perfect. I love it. Hi, Zelda. Lovely to see you. Lovely to, well, see you. Okay, so I hope that has helped you a little bit, and that you are able to kind of get your head around these kinds of projects. We are going to have mistakes. Hold on, let me get on my soapbox again. We're going to have mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. And when it comes to making mistakes on projects like this is what I call school fees. When you are, I have a hair that's blowing on my nose, which is driving me nuts. So let's say you want to learn how to drive. Okay, almost everybody learns how to drive at some point in their life. Majority of people. You pay an instructor to go to teach you, right? Maybe this is not the best example, but you are paying somebody to teach you how to do something, all right? You are paying fees in order to do that thing. Or if you want to learn how to do pottery, you're paying somebody and you're buying pottery supplies in order to learn how to do pottery. Those I like to call are school fees. So if you make a mistake, which you are bound to do because it's the first time you're doing something, and that's totally normal. If you make a mistake, you may not be paying for a class, or you may not be paying for somebody to teach you something, but you're paying for your supplies, which means that you are paying school fees. Just like you would pay for a class, just like you would pay an instructor, just like any of those kinds of things. You pay to go to school, literal school, college, university, any of those kinds of things. They're school fees. You're paying to learn something. So that's totally the same thing. So every time you make a mistake, you just go, school fees, and then you carry on because it's going to happen. It happens to every single one of us. It's totally normal. So don't be afraid of paying school fees. We all have to pay them at some point. So don't, but that's so hard for the perfectionist in us. I know, Diana. Trust me. I absolutely know. It's the same for me. Same. So I'm just going to cut it with the premium vinyl setting. And yeah, I'm going to start on mat 1 and we're going to start cutting the project. So I honestly, I totally get it. Let me just see if my overhead camera is working on the correct settings, which it probably should be. Yes, great. Okay, let me move this across here so that I can see you guys and your chat. All right, so there we go. Okay, that is the right way, which is great. You can see all my stuffies that's here. So I've got 2 of these. I'm actually just going to put these off to the side for now, because I don't need that right now. But what I do need is my mat. All right, so I have my 12 by 24 inch mat, and I'm glad that you like the school fee analogy, because it's so true. We often forget that we are learning something new. Sorry. We often forget that we're learning something new and that it's going to happen, that we're going to make mistakes. I can't tell you the number of times I've made mistakes on things. And I think that's also, so in the video that went live today, I made a mistake on the one shoe. I was able to fix it on the second shoe, but I left that in the video specifically because if you guys have the same mistake, now at least you know how to fix it. I could have taken it out. But I didn't want to, because then what happens if you guys have the same mistake? You know, never done learning. We are never done learning. And the moment that you are done learning is, it sounds like a boring thing for me. Okay, so I'm going to just make that bigger, and I hope that the chat isn't over my face, because that would be kind of awkward. So I'm just going to check on YouTube side quickly just to make sure. Okay, no, it's not. It's on the other side. Because on my side, it's like it's flipped the camera, which I don't like. I wonder if I can get it to not flip the camera. Mirror my camera. No, please don't. There we go. Ah, there we go. Now it looks like how it's supposed to look for me. Even though my name, I can take my name off, because then we've got my name everywhere, which is, we don't need that either. I don't know how to take my name off. I've only recently started using StreamYard, and it's lovely, but it's very confusing sometimes. It's fine. I'll just leave it there. Okay, so I'm going to add the vinyl on. What I can actually cut this vinyl down before I add it. Maybe I should. But I'm going to be cutting the one that goes on this side first. So I want to make sure, I don't know why I just did that. I could have just put it down on the other side. So I'm keeping the vinyl kind of rolled up, and I'm going to place it down so that it lines up with the outside first. I want it to be as close to that side as possible, because this side I'm going to end up trimming it down anyway because it needs to overlap with the other section. So maybe what I'll do actually, so I'll actually even overlap it a little bit with that side, because we also have a little bit of wiggle room. And yes, I know it's going to go under the rollers on that side, but that's okay. It's not going to be a crazy amount under the rollers. And that might actually cut off a little bit too much, because we've got about, I don't even know what it's not a half an inch, it's like 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, so maybe I've gone a little bit too far, because if I go 1/4 of an inch over on this side, there we go, then I don't have to cut it down. And I'm just going to check to see in Cricut Design Space how far I need to go. Oh, now I've got to count all the blocks, you guys. 9. So up to 9 inches. Oh, and I've got it the right way as well. So there's where the design ends. Oh, it ends on 10 inches. Ends on 10 inches. So I'm going to cut it at about 8.5. So basically all I'm doing is I'm looking to see where on the mat the design ended, and the design ended here. And I'm going to give myself about an inch and a half extra space on the other side. I don't know why I'm using the tiniest scissors I own. Not very smart, but that's fine. And then I'm going to cut it down there. All right. Went a little bit skew. Ooh, Lizette, you're watching from Dubai. That's amazing. So I'm just going to straighten this up because it is a little bit too far across on this side. And I think that another reason why I enjoy doing live streams is because I was going to say they're chaotic, but that's literally exactly what was just happening. Live streams are chaotic because no craft, for me anyway, no craft project is ever kind of perfect. So there we go. So I've just lined it up. It's a lot easier to actually work with once you cut it with a smaller piece. So now that I've got a little bit of a gap here, less to trim, I'm going to just cut it. And yeah. All right, so now I'm going to load this into the Cricut. And I'm going to have to pull the Cricut, but she's on wheels. So I'm just going to load it up. I'm using my Maker as well, not my Maker 4. Just making sure that she has enough space. Anne, was this a scheduled live? Yes, it is a scheduled live. It's not pre-recorded, it's a live. So what I'm going to do while we wait is I'm actually going to cut this other piece down to make sure that I've got the right size. And I think it's going to be about the same. If I remember correctly, it was 40 centimeters. So if we cut it at like 50 centimeters, that should be, I suppose I can kind of measure it here, hey? Or I can just cut the rest of the piece on the mat and then just see, maybe they are sharp scissors or your favorite. They're definitely not my favorite scissors, Diana. Diana, let me tell you a little story. Last year, bought a pair of spring assisted scissors. And I realized not even like a week ago that I have no idea where they are. They are the most expensive pair of scissors that I own. My favorite scissors, not a clue where they are. So my job that I've given myself for the holidays is locate my scissors because I have no idea where they are. So Sherry says, I'm sure a lot of my vinyl is too. A lot of it I have never opened. It amazes me that I have so much vinyl, yet I never seem to have what I need when I'm making a project. Sherry, I feel very attacked right now. Yes, I literally the exact same for me. I am amazed at how I constantly need to buy projects. Projects. I'm looking at the word project. Vinyl or supplies or cardstock because I don't have the right color or I don't have this. It's crazy. Like even this, I'd prefer not to use my red because I like my red, but I couldn't. I think I've used up all of my other projects, my other vinyl that I don't like. I also thought to use the iron-on because that's another option. Is you can use iron-on, and I don't like the smart vinyl, but any of the smart materials, I'm not really a big fan of them. But I just didn't. You're making a conscious effort this year to use what you have, or at least try. Hi, Robin. Robin's a great person to buy vinyl from if you're in South Africa. She owns Snippy Systems. That is amazing. Okay, so now that it's cut, we are not going to unload it because even though I know that the cut settings are correct, where is my weeding tool? There we go. We're going to check our cut. Now, because we're cutting a stencil, what we're going to do is we're going to weed the inside. We're not going to weed the outside. So I'm going to just grab a piece on the inside and lift it up. Okay. Cut beautifully. You guys can see. Okay, well, you can't really see. But yeah, so I'm going to unload it. And then we're going to weed this while we start cutting the next one. So let's just close that there. And I don't have to worry about flipping the mat over because it is vinyl, so it's mostly fine. Robin from Snippy Sisters is so very helpful in every aspect. I agree, Michelle. She's awesome. And I bought my first machine from her. Can I have the link so I can open on laptop live? The link is in your email, so you'll be able to grab it from there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the other side. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap now on the other side of the mat. We left the gap on this side of the mat last time. Now we're going to leave a gap on this side. So just a tiny little gap. Or you can click the share button on your on YouTube and then copy the link from there. And then you can send it to yourself if you aren't sure on where to find it in your email. I'm going to make sure this is lined up, which I don't think it will be. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Just tried looking at the shop supplies and it doesn't open up. Ooh. All of these problems. We'll take a look at that. Thank you very much, Barbara. So far ahead of you, Kelly. Catherine says her daughter's birthday today, 45 years old. Congratulations, happy birthday. Just making sure that I didn't. Oh, so Rayford said that they also didn't like the smart materials, thought it was only me. I don't like them in any way. So I don't. The backing is too thick. Okay, I don't like the Cricut iron-on to begin with, but I also don't like the fact that they're all matte and sometimes you need gloss and all of those kinds of things. So there's lots of things that I don't like about them. I don't like the price. Yeah, lots of different reasons not to like them for me. Also, I saw somebody saying that you love my hair. Thank you very much, Laurie. I appreciate that. I forgot to click remember material settings, but it looks like it remembered them anyway. So I appreciate that. She's very loud. I'm actually having my hair done next week. So some of the videos, some of the live streams, I'm going to end up having like nice hair, and the other ones are with my hair how it is now, where it's all grown out. It's just life. It's normal. So Bobby Hayward asked, how do you determine whether to use vinyl single use versus acetate multi-use? It depends on if I want to redo the project in the future, or if there's a particular aspect of the project that I want to redo, or if I want to use something for something else. Most of the time I'll just use vinyl because it's going to be a single use. Like I'm not going to, the chances of me making this, me specifically, making this exact mat again, relatively small, although it might be quite fun and I might just want to make more of them, but I might not. But when it comes to if you want to know which ones you want to do, then if you need to make 5 of them, as an example, because you want to make one for each of your family members, then what you would need to do is make it out of, or you can make certain aspects out of acetate, and you can then reuse them. But it also depends on what the items are that you're going to be. I like these stars. These stars are so pretty. I don't want to I want to put them on something so I can reuse them. I know that's a little bit weird. I want to put them on this extra piece of vinyl HTV. The stars are so cute. There we go. So I might try reuse those. So yeah, if you're going to be reusing items, then, or if you want to remake them and you don't want to have to recut everything, then you can do acetate. But sometimes when it comes to like small details, I mean, details in these kinds of projects is very difficult to do in regardless. But when it comes to very fine details, you won't, a stencil will be even more difficult to use. My favorite mat is the one that says "not you again." That's so me. I love it. I love it. And thank you very much, Susie, for complimenting my hair. It's a lot of fun. Oh, that little piece didn't stay in. Didn't stay down. Okay, there we go. I just had to place that piece of vinyl back down. Okay, perfect. If the mat is well used, will the paint wear off? If so, would you paint it again through the same stencil? Good question, Ruth. These are not mats that are going to last forever. Because we're making them at home with like home grade materials and things like that, they will not last forever. You might get, it also depends on whether they're inside versus, or at least sheltered versus unsheltered. So are they going to be out in the rain, in the sun, all of those kinds of things. The more sun they get, the more rain they get, the quicker they're going to wear down. But they will absolutely wear down. You'll probably get a year, 2 years, 3 years use out of them. But it's a relatively, I say relatively quick. It's only taking a long time because I'm talking. But I could definitely weed much faster than this. And if you seal it, then it'll last a little bit longer. So if you use like Flex Seal, then it'll last a little bit longer. If you use UV resistant paint, it'll last a little bit longer. So there's lots of different factors that are going to contribute to the lifespan of your Coir mat. When it comes to, you know, using no sealer, leaving it out in the sun, in the rain, all of those kinds of things, it's going to wear quicker. So again, just depends on how it's treated and how you handle it. You can spray it with a sealer, yes. Yes, you can use Flex Seal. Flex Seal is a very popular sealer for these mats. You don't have to use a glossy sealer. Most people prefer like a kind of a matte sealer. A matte sealer, get it? It's a welcome mat. Oh, sorry. My arm is getting stuck. There we go. We're going to lose. So you see here, now the vinyl is sticking to everything because this vinyl is so sticky. So on this design specifically, we can see this tiny little detail. We're going to lose a majority of this detail here. This detail will probably only start coming out about there, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. You'll get the gist of it, and it's not going to be something that you're going to like, you know, look at like a hawk anyway. So I think I've gotten everything. You always save your weeded out stencil and make another project. That's a good idea. Yes. Just save it on the back of the. It all depends on what you have more of. Do you have more of time or do you have more of materials? Like in this case, I have more materials than I do time. So I'm happy to not save a little bit more vinyl. Better left unsaid. So if you click on the share button in the bottom, you'll be able to grab the link, or you can click up in the top, depending on whether you're on a browser or on your mobile. Then you'll be able to copy the link from there. So I'm just going to cut this down. Again, I'm going to be cutting it a little bit further away from the design so that I can have a little bit of extra space. Room for error. Now, my favorite part of using my 24-inch mat is getting the cover to go back on. All right, so if you guys want to use your 24-inch mat, whenever I roll up the cover, I always roll it up so that the little peephole, that little hole thingy is on the outside. All right, because I know that lining up the cover on your 24-inch mat is always a challenge. So I'm going to take the little holes, I don't know what you call it, cable hole section or whatever it is, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to keep this rolled up. All right, and I'm going to line up that little section there. I'm going to line it up so that it's straight. I'm going to line it up so that that aligns there. And then once I've lined that up, all I need to do is just let go. And then it automatically unravels and it's perfectly aligned. It hasn't gone skew and it's covered all of the sticky area. So if you guys ever struggle with your 24-inch mat, how to get the mat cover back on, that is the easiest way to do it. Robin, I think it'll block you from sharing links. So thank you for sharing the link, but it won't allow you to share the links, which is a little bit of a pain. Audrey, if you like, you can share the link with her. I'm not even sure where the link is for me, but yeah, I make it look easy because it is easy. It's easier than putting the 12 by 12 mat cover on, which is what I love about it. All right, so I'm just going to weed this section now. I'm going to try to do this a little bit quicker. And get everything go. I don't know why I'm putting each letter on a different finger. No, wrong. No, delete that. So that's just the internal link. So you want to share the external, I don't know don't know where you can get it from here. You might need to go onto YouTube and go and grab that. Let me see if I can grab it quickly. It should be in, if you go onto YouTube, you'll be able to grab it from there. We are making a welcome mat. So we're making, you should also be able to, I think you can click back and see what the design looks like, but it says welcome to the circus. It's a welcome mat. And I'm going to be using white and red to create like a nice little circusy kind of effect. So it should be quite fun. All right, I do need to cut this down, both of them down a little bit, because there is a tiny little bit of section there that is overlapping, and that's totally fine. There we go. Whee, it's all starting to come together. I love it. I love it. Even with the red and the white of this design, it's starting to look really fun. But of course, this is not what we're making. It's gonna be different colors. So that's kind of what I love about this process as well, is that I like to use acrylic paints. I don't have outdoor rated acrylic paints. I'm just using regular craft acrylic paints. And they are not rated for external use or anything like that, but mine don't go outside because they would get stolen, probably. I should actually do a test to see how long it would take for the mat to get stolen. We live in a different country here. I think that's the right one. Yes, let me just double check. Right one. Okay. There we go. Great. Thank you, Audrey. Guys, send some love for Audrey. So pleasant. I love weeding projects. They're so great. They're so great. Okay. Welcome to the circus. See how cool it looks. And like I said, I'm going to save these little stars for another project. Okay. Now comes the tricky part. So we're going to do one of two things. We're going to cut down the edge so that they are lining up, able to line up. I like Susie. I totally didn't do that on purpose. Oh, I love that. That's a happy accident. We call them happy accidents. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I didn't even notice. Okay, this is just too big to fit in there. So maybe what I'll do, instead of using this one, sorry, I'm going to use my guillotine. I know it may seem counterproductive to use a smaller one, or counterintuitive to use a smaller cutter than the other one, but I take this little flappy thing off. No, we're not in a gated community. I'm not really a big fan of gated communities, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, that's why you say test with a hidden camera. Okay, that makes sense now. Right. Sorry, sometimes I'm a little bit slow. I want some flag fabric. That's interesting. I'm glad that you came right with the link. Whenever you want, you can always just visit the schedule page and all of the links are there. I think maybe after this live stream, I'm going to schedule all the rest of the live streams for the event and add them all there. Okay, so I've just cut this down so that it is right on the edge. It doesn't matter if it's straight. It doesn't have to be straight because we're going to overlap them anyway. And I'm kind of dreading that because I'm going to mess it up. Normally I overlap them differently, but today I decided to be challenging and do a challenging design because, you know, it's not like I'm doing this live or anything. I'm just a sucker for punishment. Okay, so I need to do a tiny little bit more than the other side. And I'm just holding this down. There we go. Probably should have used like my craft knife or something. Would have been more efficient. There we go. As long as I've got that side down, then it's fine. Okay. Now the fun part, lining it up. Always my favorite part. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our transfer tape. Now, I much prefer to buy transfer tape in bulk, okay? So I know that a lot of people would recommend that you buy 20 centimeter or like a 9-inch wide transfer tape. I much prefer the 30 centimeter or the 12-inch wide transfer tape. I've had, because there are so many times where you have to like overlap pieces or whatever, and I don't have to overlap it with this. I can still cut down to 20 if I need it to be 20. But if I need a bigger piece, you can't get it unless you have, you know, you have to kind of do what we're doing now, where you pat one piece on the other. Guess the number of days the mat will be there, taken away and win a prize. Oh, I love that, Diana. That's so funny. That's so funny. Only in South Africa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the transfer tape with the edge of the design, not necessarily the edge of the vinyl, but I'm going to line it up with the edge of the design. So from about here to about there, because then we've got a little bit of overlap space there. I could even do it a little bit more. Is that acetate on a roll? No, Gina, it's transfer tape. It is 100 meters. Well, it was 100 meters of transfer tape. This whole thing. I'm not even kidding when I tell you that I bought this 6 years ago. I bought it once and I've never had to buy transfer tape again, obviously, because there's so much of it. And I've even given my mom a whole bunch. It's just, sadly, the takeaway society is not just in South Africa. I know, definitely. It's like people think that they're the same problems that we have are not unique to South Africa, but I think there's just a little bit more of it down here. But I like how you call it the takeaway society. That's quite funny. Okay, this is going to be a little bit loud, so I apologize in advance for the loudness of that. It is a little bit loud to take it out, which is a little bit of a pain. So I'm going to try and line this up and then place it down. Okay, I guess we're placing it down there on the mat. Okay, I just want to lift this up so that it does a little bit better. Because we haven't burnished it down. There's a few little crinkles. So I just want to get those crinkles out. Because it kind of fell down onto the mat a little bit. But I want it to lay flat. There we go. Much better. All right. Now, I'm I'm just pulling it back because there was a little bit of a bubble on that side as well. And again, I apologize for the noise. There we go. It's really loud. But like I said, it's also loads better than the Cricut transfer tape. It's loads more durable. So not only is this transfer tape much cheaper to buy, you can also use it more than the transfer tape that the Cricut transfer tape, and you can also use it more. So you can use, like as an example, the Cricut transfer tape is very thin, so it kind of tears a lot more easily, but this one doesn't. So it doesn't tear as easily, should I say. All right, I'm just going to stick this down to the table quickly so that it you would be awkward with a big roll. You're like it would fall down mostly off my target spot. So what I would do in that case is I would cut off a piece and then put it on the item that you're putting it onto, because what happens then is that you have more control over it. Because I'm taking off a large piece, it's a lot easier for me to keep it on the roll so that I can kind of roll it down. But if you're working with a smaller item, I always cut off a piece and then apply it. So don't stress too much. Okay, now is where we're going to line up the design, and you can see how I have lined it up, cut it in a way that there we go. Okay, so see, that's how you're going to line it up. So you just line it up. We haven't taken anything off the backing yet or anything like that. We're just lining it up because now we can still reposition it. If it's, I mean, it's a little bit out there and maybe it's a little bit out there. So maybe I need to angle it up just a little bit. But we still can, because I mean, it's just on the transfer tape. That little piece has come up. There we go. So I can just move it a little bit. There we go. Okay, that looks like it. And did you see how easy it was to line that up? So easy. All right, so now what we do is now we can just apply transfer tape to the other side. But not on your toes. Monster tape. Almost dropped it there. It does look great, Terry. Thank you. It is starting to look amazing. No, no. Sorry, that was like right next to the mic. Okay, so here. There we go. Just see. Okay. So now we're applying transfer tape to the other side over the other transfer tape. And yes, I know that I haven't done anything about that side yet. We're going to get there when we turn it over. All right, so we're first just going to apply our transfer tape, cut it down. And I'm not terribly concerned about using so much transfer tape for this design. This is something that you can reuse once you're done with this. I mean, I've taken pieces of transfer tape that I've used on Coir matte projects, and I've used them like 3 or 4 times. So that's why I'm not too concerned about using so much transfer tape. I wouldn't use them for anything else. I wouldn't use them for like vinyl or something, but you can use them on these kinds of projects again. So Cass and Laurie at the same time have asked, where did I buy the roll of transfer tape? So depending on where you are in the world, if you are in South Africa, Snippy Sisters, Robin Ilsova, she was in the chat earlier. She is where I get these big rolls. If you are in the US, I think there should be a link in the supplies to the transfer tape. So if I go check out the store supplies, then let me just double check that there is actually a link or a transfer tape on there. Yes, there is. All right. So on the store supplies list, there we go. Why is it not sending? Sorry if I sent that twice. If I send it twice, I'll just delete the other one, or Audrey can delete the other one. But it is on there. It is it's not the same roll. I mean, because obviously, you know, it's America, so it's this in South Africa, but it's the same concept where you have more on a roll. Where did I get the mats from in South Africa? You can get them from many different places. I think Robin has those mats as well. Snippy Sisters. Fantastic. What about those of us in Canada? Sherry, if you look for just transfer tape rolls, you should be able to find them in most countries. Some people hang it up on the side of their table and reuse later. Yes, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just put it back onto the backing, so the vinyl, the actual permanent vinyl backing. You can, or I wrap it around the back of the transfer tape. That's the word. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to prepare to overlap these. I prefer doing it before I've laid it onto the mat as opposed to the other way around. I know some people like to do it the other way around. So I'm just going to pull the backing off. All right. Then, because I find it a lot easier to control once I've got it here. So I'm just making sure that the vinyl is staying stuck down. And again, if it misaligns by like a millimeter or so, because this is a Coir, like a matte project, your room for error is significantly high. I mean, significantly low. The F-up factor, what some people call it, and sometimes me as well, is very, excuse me, the mat is now out, open, and out of the bag on the floor, and Sam was just in here, and he was going, "Gung, gung, gung, gung." So I'm telling you, like, it hasn't even been out for like half an hour, and he's already found it, and he's like, yes, best claw scratcher. Oh, life with cats, I'm telling you. Literally, welcome to my circus. I probably could do this a better way, but apparently I like doing things the hard way, so let's just leave it like that. Oh, no problem, Audrey. Thank you for having us, or thank you for joining us and helping. All right. So let's just do that quickly. Just want to make sure that the letters and whatnot stay stuck down. You have 6 of the cats, you mean? Amazing. I also saw there somebody says that they've learned so much. You've learned so much and you're not even done. Oh, I'm so glad, Barbara. See, that's the thing with these projects. It's like I was saying that yesterday. Like, there's so many little things that you do, so many little things that we learn, that we do while we're crafting, and we don't even realize it. All right, so now we've revealed the overlap. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place that one down. And boom, there, done. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But, I mean, that's pretty much exactly. So now we don't have to worry about lining it up on the mat or anything. Was this a little bit tricky? I'm not going to lie, yes. But it is a lot easier than the alternative. So now we get to the fun stuff, you guys. Finally, it's an hour and 20 minutes in and we got to the fun stuff. So, now that Sam has left his mark on the mat, your son ruined your couch. Oh no. Sherry says she likes doing things the hard way too, and then you have serious crafting rage in your craft room. You're amazed that the authorities haven't been called for a wellness check. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, hashtag relatable. So that adheres them together and closes any gaps between them so that the paint won't go in between them. Exactly, Diana. That's exactly what happened. The R in Circus looks like it has a flat edge, or it's just that. Oh, ooh. Wow, Judy. You are an absolute trooper. I mean, I can always remove that. It's just, I just didn't weed that little section. So you have a very, very, very good eye. So I can take that off when we apply it. That's fine. Good catch. Good catch. Okay, so just going to get any bubbles out. Or I apologize for the noise again. Just going to get the Fred. Yes. Now Fred is here, and he's now playing on the mats. Sam obviously went to go and tell him that there's his favorite mat here, and he's now coming to inspect. So he's probably going to jump into the stream any second now. Okay, so I'm just kind of, I probably should have done that off the mat, but it's now stuck down. And I'm going to flip it over and remove the vinyl backing from, let's do that on the surface. It's always the worst part for me. Just trying to get the vinyl. There we go. So what you need to do is you just need to like kind of dig it in on the side. I hate that part. Would it be easier to leave it on the mat when you weed and apply the transfer tape? Do you mean not on the table, or apply the transfer tape, apply the design onto the mat and then weed it? If that's what you mean, Debbie, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to just remove the backing. Let's just put this mat off to the side. And then remove the... I'm just going to keep an eye on this section because this is where all the letters are, the words. So I'm going to use my hack here. Okay. This is going to be a tricky part as well because you're dealing with such a large area. I'm still amazed that Judy had eyes like that. Wow. Judy, I'm impressed. It's like right in front of me and I didn't notice. Fred ran out. All right. See, the bottom is a lot easier to pull off than the top because the top obviously has a little bit more detail. But if you go slow enough, just make sure that you're checking the entire length of the vinyl so that you can catch any pieces that haven't stuck down or that haven't released. Might it come off easier on the hard table surface than the soft mat? Yes, yes, Barbara. I moved it off because it definitely is easier. Okay, so we've removed the one. See, now this is what I was saying. Like, you can keep this and put the transfer tape on that. That's what I do a lot of the time. Okay. You've never had luck with getting your vinyl onto the transfer tape. You always struggle, then getting it back off. You just don't have the skill. Okay, Laurie, I'm gonna do you a favor, and I'm gonna teach you about this little tool. The XL scraper is probably one of my favorite Cricut tools, next to my True Control weeding knife, weeding blade or whatever, and my brayer. If there were 3 tools of Cricut tools, 4, the reverse tweezers, but those 4 are my absolute favorite. So what you do is you take your weeding, your XL scraper, you lift up a little corner of the backing, all right? You put the XL scraper so that it sits at like a 45-degree-ish angle, and you pull the backing. And what it does is it creates like a little, like a very sharp point, and the vinyl is then forced to stay laying down flat. So it's a little bit tricky to start. So maybe pull up a slightly bigger corner, like about an inch, inch and a half or so, and then put the scraper underneath. But for the rest of the section, it's going to go so much easier. It's just on very big designs like this, it's a bit tricky to do that method. But if you try hard enough, then it comes off much easier. See, so definitely try that. I think I also, if you have the VIP pass, I did also cover it in yesterday's video. I mean, I'll probably cover it again when we have more vinyl crafts. So but it is the easiest way to get vinyl off the transfer tape. There we go. Ta-cha! Apologies for the noise. All right. So I'm going to grab that piece in a second. Trudy, I think it was Trudy. Trudy, this is yours. Would you like it? Was it Trudy? Judy, sorry. Judy, this is in honor of you. I'm going to put it right there on my microphone stand. It's right there. That's all yours. You can come and get it anytime you like. Honorary piece of vinyl. Okay, so now we have this all off, and it looks much rounder, much nicer now. So now we're just going to flip it over, all right, and do the hinge method. So I'm going to fold the design in half, try and find like the middle point and the middle point of the mat. Normally, I actually have my other craft mat out, so maybe I should do that quickly. Let's do the light side. And the only reason I have this is to measure the middle point, all right? Because this is a 24-inch mat, just about. So now what I can do is I can go to the middle point and I can find the middle point of the design. I'm actually going to stand up for this to make sure that it is in the middle. All right, so the middle point of this design is the E. So the E is the midpoint, and we're going to line the E up at the middle there and place that down. Okay, what I am going to do now is I'm going to measure from the top. So we've got, it's almost exactly 2 inches from the top. That one's almost exactly 2 inches from the top. We can't do the bottom because I don't think that's level. Almost, it's 1.5 inches from the bottom. And that's 1.5 inches from the bottom. Okay. To be completely honest, this is the tricky part, is getting the transfer tape off while the vinyl stays stuck down. Because it doesn't want to stick, really, you kind of have to force it to stick. All right, so we're going to press it down as much as we can. We can use our scraper, we can use our brayer, anything. Where is my brayer? There it is. Use our brayer. Okay. This is why a lot of people prefer to use heat transfer vinyl, because, you know, it sticks down a little bit easier. Would a bit of heat work to stick it down? So not really, because the thing with heat is that heat softens the adhesive. So while it would maybe in the long, not really necessarily in the long term, but in the short term, it makes it not stick as well. At least, I mean, I don't know. That's in my mind. It's not necessarily like a confirmed thing, but we're just going to go slowly with this. I'm going to start with the transfer tape on the top. We're going to go slowly, one little piece at a time. And whatever pieces come up, we're just going to stick them back down and continue on. Making sure to kind of hold down the vinyl on the mat. You also don't want to stretch it or anything like that, you know? Okay. I also chose a particularly complicated design. Can you use painter's tape to help you keep it down? You could, but then you would need to release the painter's tape. I mean, I do have painter's tape right here, so I could use it, but I'm going to use painter's tape on the edges. Well, at least I would if I was using spray paint, but I'm not going to be using spray paint. I'm just going to be using my hands and my paint. So you just need to go slowly with this section. It does work, but it works best to just be patient. And focus on the little details. So I struggle to multitask, which is why when I'm concentrating, I go quiet. Okay, almost done with the first half. There we go. Yay, look at that. Okay, so now this piece of transfer tape, you see how it's got such a little bit of fibers on it? So I'll just wrap this back around the vinyl roll. Use it for something else. Do the matte fibers ever poke holes in the stencil and mess with the paint? I've never had that happen to me. I'm sure they would if depending on maybe the fibers of the mat, how it works, how it looks, and things like that, but it's never happened to me. Okay, so we're going to start with the other section now. Same process. Peel it back. Take your time. And if it pulls up, it's fine. Just press it back down. Try and keep it as pressed down as you can so that you don't distort the design too much. But obviously, when it comes to these designs, we're not other than, I mean, the tent of this design is probably the most detailed that we have, but we're not working with ridiculously detailed designs. You won't get the detail on these kinds of projects. So if the letter is slightly wider, it's fine. I'm waiting for the top. I'm doing the top last because I want to be able to control that. Might be better from the top down, but I want to be able to focus more on the top without having to worry about everything else. So now the only thing that I have left is that. So now I can go slower. I can control it a little bit more, and I can pull that off and not worry about any other part of the design. So I kind of always leave the smaller detailed sections for last. You might find it easier the other way. Everybody kind of, you know, has different ways of doing things. Definitely try both to see which one works for you. For me, it just works. I find this a little bit easier. Okay, last letter. There we go. Let's see. Okay, cool. And again, this just goes back on the roll of transfer tape for now. All right. Laurie, I'm not sure what you're asking. Why is that? So if you could let me know what you were replying to so I can give you an answer. All right. Now, everything is stuck down. The vinyl is removed. The transfer, you are holding your breath. I'm sure, I hope that you're a good swimmer then. Now's the fun part. I do have my paintbrush here. It was a little bit worse for wear. I think I might just use a different one. I think I left this paintbrush in Mod Podge or something, so it's like, you know, not all that great. But my other paintbrush, now you see that's the one that I always use for these projects. Do you guys think I have enough paintbrushes? Let's see if we can use one of these. This one should work. I like to use like a flat bristled paintbrush because it gets, I feel like I can get deeper into the fibers, because obviously the deeper you go into the fibers, the longer the paint is going to last. So I like to just make sure that everything's restuck down again before we get started. Then what I'm going to do is I want to do this section in red and white, so it kind of looks a little bit like a circus. So we've got red, white, red, white, red, and then maybe go red, white, red, white, red, or white, red, white, red, white, just to see what it's going to look like. Then circus, and welcome to the circus, I want to have in black, and the stars maybe we do in like yellow. And that's kind of the nice thing about this project, is that you don't have to re-stencil it and blah 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 everything because you want to use different colors. You just wipe down your paintbrush in between, and as we say in Afrikaans, daar gaat jy, which means there you go. So we're going to do red, white, red, white, red, and then we're going to do the opposite on that side. So you can use a little paint palette, you can use whatever you want. I find that the easiest and quickest way is to literally just take the paint and just go straight onto the mat. Right. So I just pour the paint straight onto the mat and we get going. And you always work, you don't brush, all right? You work top down, you go up, down. So you dab the brush into the fibers because the fibers are all sitting up like this. So when it comes to kind of applying your paint, you literally just go, you dab it up and down, and you try and cover as much of the area. You try and disturb the vinyl as little as possible. Can you use gesso first to keep the bleed less? You probably can. I've never tried that. I've just used it just like this, and it's worked fine for me. Diana, you are not wrong. They are very tiny, so you have to be, if you want to keep them there, you have to be very careful around them, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not the most careful of people, so we're probably not going to see them all that well. They'll mostly disappear, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Like I said in the beginning, even up at the top here, we're going to lose most of this detail. But if we don't have it, then we don't have the opportunity to have the details. So we're going to try. Like I said, we're going to keep trying. I wonder how much paint I actually have left in this. There we go. Seems like I've got enough. All right, put that there. So you definitely want to go for a design that's like a little bit broader, a little bit wider, not super detailed. And you kind of want to add a little bit more paint than you think that you probably should. And then you kind of just go to town. So this is the part where I would probably just like speed it up. Like especially in post when I'm editing the videos, I would just speed up this whole process, but we cannot speed up a live video. Well, unless you're watching the replay, in which case, congratulations, you can speed up. But I mean, we'll be talking anyway. So let me know, have you guys ever made a mat? Are you going to make one for somebody? I've made so many mats. I absolutely loved making them. They're so much fun. And especially this one, I think this is probably, I want to say the most fun one that I've ever made. But there was one other one that I absolutely love. And that is the one with the tulips that I did for my friend Shelly. We Can Make That. I did for her summit at the beginning of, was that the beginning of this year? Or was it the beginning of last year? I can't even remember. It must have been this year. Completely different design, completely different approach. And when it comes to getting the paint in the fibers, you don't necessarily only want to, you want to kind of, especially in like some of the larger sections, you want to just go a little bit to the side as well. Don't do that in the very detailed areas, but if you want to get more of the paint covering more of the fibers, then just try and wiggle it around just a little bit. And this is where I always get nervous with such a big brush. These little fine detailed sections. The aspirational sections, the sections where I know that we're going to struggle. But I'm going to try to be as careful as I can. Okay. You can always go back later and fill it in a little bit more. How long does the paint last on the mat, and do you apply clear something? Sherry, I love that. Sometimes you find content creator speed up sections that can get lost for those of you who are new to the technique, for sure. So that's why, like, I always try and show the technique without being sped up, because like you say, sometimes it's difficult to actually like learn the technique or see the technique. But then if I'm just repeating the technique for like an hour, sometimes, then I'll just speed it up afterwards. So it is not, that's kind of why I also like live streams, because then you guys can see how long it actually takes to make a project. It's always difficult to know how long something actually takes if you just speed it up, because then you don't really ever get a proper gauge for the project. Oh yes, Isabel asks, how long does the paint last on a mat, and how do you? So we spoke about it at the beginning, but it depends on the weather that the mat is placed in. If it's going to be in full sun every day, and then it gets rain and snow and all of those kinds of things, it's not going to last very long. If you have a mat that is under on a stoep, a porch. Sorry, I had to get the American word, or at least understanding, then and it doesn't get rained on and it is sealed, then it's going to last a lot longer. If you've used UV paints, it's going to last a lot longer. This is just regular acrylic paint. There's nothing special about this paint, but I mean, you're not going to have a mat that's going to last 3, 4, 5 years. It is going to last maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 if you really look after it. But they're relatively inexpensive, so it is not something that you can worry about not being able to replace or redo. Okay, I'm happy with the red. I'm just going to take a stand. Now you get to look at my head, because that's not awkward at all. I'm just making sure that I've kind of got all of the sections. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I very often, when I take the vinyl off, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done a little bit more there. But I mean, that's also part and parcel of these kinds of things, you know. I probably should have done the white first. That probably would have been a smarter decision. I'm glad I've left the black for last, though, because the black is going to overpower the other colors on the brush, or at least it's going to be more difficult to clean. So now basically what I'm just trying to do is trying to get as much paint, whoopsie daisy, that was a little bit too much paint, into the mat as possible. Because like I said, is the more paint that you have in the fiber, you don't want it laying on top. If it lays on top, it's going to crack and not look good. You want to get it in the fibers of the mat. You don't want clumps on top. And that's the other thing, is that it depends on, like, the longevity of the mat depends on how deep you manage to get the paint into the fibers. If it all sits on top and you've got a layer on top, it's going to crack. It's going to come off a lot more easily. If it's deep in the fibers, it'll come off a lot slower. Okay, so let's give our brush a quick clean. I was looking for my brush cleaner little boxy thing. I don't know where it is. It was Shelley's Summit. It was one of Shelley's Summits, Diana. You find these mats to buy quite pricey here in Canada. Oh, really? That's interesting. They're not even $10 here by us. It was 140 Rand for this mat, which is $7, I think, somewhere around there. It's a pity that they're quite expensive for you. We'll check how straight your part is. It's not. It's really, really not. There's nothing perfect about me. Although me is perfect, because imperfectly perfect, you know? Freak, can I help you, sir? I think he's hungry. Okay, now I need to do the white, which is in my... Oh no, that's green. Don't want that. Again, just a regular acrylic paint. You might get pink if you don't clean the brush. That's what I'm worried about, Diana. Especially because there's a lot of red on that brush. I really should have thought this through. Now my spray bottle isn't working. Maybe what I should do is try and do some paint somewhere else. I do have water in my water bottle. Don't really know. What does Bob say? Just slap the dickens out of it. Or something like that. I wish it were oil paint, because that would, it should be fine. I'll add an extra layer of white on top. It'll be fine. It's not like it's going to stay white anyway. Oh, shame you typed shame. So Bob Ross takes the brush. He normally has like a natural fiber brush, and then he slaps it against the easel leg. And then he says, yeah, you just kind of, I think he says you slap the dickens out of it or something like that. Maybe that's just my brain filling it in, but that's, I think what he says. If somebody else, if I'm wrong, then somebody please correct me. What do you call these mats? These mats are Coir mats. At least that's what they call it for us. What do they call it? Natural. Yeah, they just call this a plain Coir. You could do sublimation on certain matte materials. Yes, you can, but not this one. This is a natural fiber. I think the other mat that I have, you probably can do sublimation on. I've been wanting to try, not matte sublimation, but try something on that mat. I bought it beginning of the year. It's more of a woven mat, not a fiber. Yes, he does, but the room cleanup is a bit much. I know, Catherine, absolutely. Absolutely. I would not want to be the person cleaning that room. Thank you. I mean, that would have to be like in a garage or something. You guys call it the garage, hey? Yeah, I think so. Always got to try and make sure that I'm translating the South Africanisms. Because, like, as an example, a traffic light we call a robot. Don't know why, but if anybody calls it a traffic light, I'm like, who are you and where are you from? It's not a traffic light, it's a robot. Which is so silly because it's not a robot, it's a traffic light. It's hilarious. Going a little bit more careful with the white because I don't want to get the red on either side. I love live streams as well. They're so much fun. I think especially when I have like people chatting and it's so easy to just lose an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh, I've got red. No. Definitely should have done the white. So guys, if you ever do this, do the white first. Don't be like me. Don't be a chop. I think that's maybe why I'm trying to go a little bit slower, because I want to be much more controlled. What a chop. Should have done the white first. Okay. It's fine. It wasn't even a thought in my mind, like a small throw rug. He does whack whack. Oh, I did my first oil painting earlier in the year. That's going to be my craft for the holiday season. I think I was telling you guys in the live kickoff. I'm definitely going to be doing some oil painting, but not Bob Ross style oil painting. I'm going to do, I like the hyper realistic style of art. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to do that because this is driving me nuts now. There we go. Should we do the flag white or red? Or should we do the one flag white and the other flag red? Let me know what you guys think. No tent. Your favorites is Muhu. No circus tent is perfect. Sun bleach them. Yes, yes. And that's kind of like, the more imperfect the tent, the better the circus is going to be, you know? Muhu is such a good word. Okay, we're going to get almost no white out of that, because that is a very, very small piece. So I might just overload that little section with paint to try and get as much in there as we can. Both white. Both flags the same color, whether it's white or red. Everybody's saying white. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad that I asked, because I would have done one white and one red. See, so you guys have control over my project. What color do you think we should do these? Should we do this white as well? Fred and Sam are now in the room again. Okay. Oops. Okay, well, it just went all over that, so that's fine. Totally fine. Let's do that and that. Don't want to waste it. Extend the color down from the stripes. Yeah, I think I should do that. I can carry that one up, because that's the white. Will then go up there quite nicely. Try and get the paint to the bottom. So climbing around underneath my desk. Okay. Okay, well, they're both going to be white now. Red and white every other. Oh, okay. Split opinion. Oh, is that what you mean? So like the white, but we have sections that don't have colors, so that wouldn't really, that would be difficult. If we alternate them, that one would be red, that one would be white, that one would be red, and the red would then line up. And that one would be white, that one would be red, white, red, white, red, white, red. So it wouldn't lie. I think maybe we would do this one color, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna do it white. There we go, because I needed to get some of the paint off the brush. Okay. It's always like I'm always worried about bleeding of the design, the color bleeding underneath the stencil. And I think that it might not look all that great here. I think maybe I put too much color up at the top, and now it's not going to look so good. What am I doing the letters in? I think I'm just going to do them in black. I think it would look the nicest, the most cohesive if it was just in black. What do you guys think? Do you think we should do it a different color, or should we keep it black? I'm going to take a sip of water. Leave the matte color in between the red and white. Yes. Gina also says black. Black letters. Both Ginas say black. I'm glad that you guys agree. Hashtag Gina unite. Pink. no pink. Okay. Alrighty. Just get. Okay, everybody says too much to alternate. Just do one color. I agree. A lot of work. Like I want to finish this year. No, get off there. Get off. Okay. Trying to see how much quicker we can go. Okay. Should probably start on this side, hey? I mean, I think this is also one of those projects where it doesn't really matter what color you do. It's going to look great, if I do say so myself. Are we going to get perfect detail? No. But that's totally fine. We don't need to. Again, this is a handmade gift. Handmade gifts are not meant to be perfect. Repeat after me. Handmade gifts are not meant to be perfect. If they want perfect, they can go buy something made by a robot. Not a traffic light. Although that would be interesting. I would pay money. I would pay money to see a traffic light make a project. I think it's always like with these kinds of projects, I always start out with the best of intentions. And then once I've been at it for like 2 hours or whatever, I'm just like, I just want to get this thing finished now. Oh, thank you, Catherine. That's so sweet. I really like the fact that we have the chat on the screen as well. It's in a place where it like over here, it like doesn't interfere too much with the project or the screen or anything like that. So that, because obviously there's people on Facebook and there's people on YouTube. So you guys can all see what's going on either side. Okay, now now you guys can check my middle parting again to see how straight it is or unstraight it is. I just want to make sure. You also kind of want to make sure that it's a little bit more even. You don't want it to be, you know, heavily colored on the one section and then not on the other. Again, don't like this bottle. Either that or this bottle doesn't like me. I think that looks pretty good. This is the only one that I'm worried about, but I don't think I'm going to get very much better definition out of that one. I can always fix it up with a brush once I'm done. A smaller brush, maybe. Like, I don't know, one of these. So you can kind of go into the sections a little bit better if you really want to, like, if there's an area that's really bothering you. But the softer the bristle of the brush, the more difficult it is going to be to like cover up those areas and things like that. And also, you're not really going to notice a lot of that. So once you take it off, you're not going to notice that teeny tiny little area. Somebody receiving a crocheted gift and asking the creator to redo it without the mistakes. Oh my word. That's shocking. I think it's because my white paint is almost finished. That's why it's yelling at me. I've also got the song from Dido, White Flag, stuck in my head now. I'm not going to sing it because otherwise I might get a copyright strike. Not that my voice is like Dido's. Okay. There's spirit pods. I like that. I like that, Catherine. Okay. Just giving, we've got some nice candy cane water. It's a lot whiter than it actually looks on camera. On camera, it looks very, very pink, but it's not nearly that pink. You see my camera light settings are a little bit off. Shame, Sarah. That's not very nice. We won't tease you about the quality of your projects. Share them with us. Share them in the Facebook group. I love seeing what you guys make. My life is a bit chaotic right now with the event, so I try and look at the Facebook group as often as I can. But just know that when this is over, I'm absolutely going to be trawling the Facebook group and seeing all of your photos and your posts and all of that kind of stuff. Can't wait, because there's still lots to do for this event. This event, as much as I'm sharing last minute gifts with you guys, this event is also a last minute event. So lots to do, lots that I'm excited for. I'm so grateful that you guys are here with me. Okay, now we're going to start on the black. I'm going to do circus first, and then I'll probably flip it around and do the top. Hi, Trey. Hi, Mom. I love that. I also prefer these bottles to the ones with the cap, because it's a lot easier to put the paint down where you need it. When you have the one with the lid, wasn't supposed to do that. It gets in the way. So you can like actually do these projects, these sections faster, because you can just tap the paint. I probably should have done the yellow first. It's fine, I'll use a different brush. I can't wait to see what you guys make, though. If you guys make some matte projects, obviously this one's going to take a little bit longer to produce fruit, as it were. Fred? He wants to... No. This way. Okay, give me 1 second. I just need to give him food, because he's now hungry. Hold on. This is going to be the wrong webcam, but you can now see. No. Stay there. If I switch the webcams. Hold on a second. Freedness. What? No. Webcam 4, that one. There we go. Now you can see him over there. Can you? No, I didn't switch the screen. There we go. There he is. Hello. He has a little place of honor here where he gets some nice little wet sachets. Hey. And he needs food when he needs food, and I have to give it to him. So I apologize for taking this brief interlude. Otherwise, he's going to moan until I feed him. And he waits patiently and he's purring away. Hey? There you go. So that is our little Fred interlude. He just sits there, he just waits because he knows I've taught him, wait. So he's gonna have a munch now while we craft. I love that. He's patient. Your cat would have bitten you already. Oh no! I wonder if I can just pull that down a little bit. Crafting halftime show, but he wants to knead the mat. He does, and I had to keep him off because I don't want him. It's non-toxic paint, but I don't know. I'd rather just avoid any potential toxicalities. I know that's not a word. I'm okay with it. Okay. So you see how easy that was to do. Where's the mouse? There we go. How easy that section was to do because we have the right thingy. There we go. Ooh. I wonder if I'm going to have enough black paint, you guys, because I'm not 100% sure if there's enough in that container. Maybe I should be a little bit more sparing on the black paint. I mean, the black section you can also very easily do with spray paint if you don't have the patience for the paint, but it goes quite quickly, especially because black obviously gets a good coverage a lot more easily than like white or red or something like that. But you still want to make sure that you're getting the corners, the edges well and truly covered. There we go. Yeah, Fred is such a good little boy sometimes. Sometimes he's not as good for like a week. The link for the day 2 project seems to be not working. It should be working. Which link are you talking about? The link on the schedule page? I haven't had anybody else tell me that it's not working. Okay. Now I'm just trying to clean up the paint on the edges because I'm not sure if we're going to have enough. So I just want to... Oh, and if you guys don't have the VIP pass, but you want all of these files, there is a link in the description for you guys to grab just the files. So I think it's like $7, but it's 8 of the files. How many? I think it's 6 pattern backgrounds, so animal pattern backgrounds, and then there's a whole bunch of titles and everything. So if you didn't want to grab the VIP pass for each of the projects, there'll be a link to just buy the SVGs for those projects. For that project, rather. There's not going to be a live every day. There's going to be a live every second day. Oh, Diana, I like the way you think. Maybe use navy for the top letters. That's a good idea. But the problem is I don't think I'm going to know. I might have another black container. I didn't even think that I would need another one. Cheaper and easier to get the VIP pass. It really is. And I also made the VIP pass lower than what you would normally find for other events because we don't have early access to all the presentations. So for me, it was kind of a case of, like I told you, this is a little bit of a last minute kind of thing. And I probably could have had everything ready for you guys to give you early access, but then there would have been lots of other things that you wouldn't have had. So I thought, okay, well, let's just put the price points a little bit lower because you don't have all the benefits that you would from a normal event. And then we don't get early access, but you get all of the other benefits that you would normally get. So that's why we don't have early access for this one. But next one, we're definitely going to have early access. It's also maybe a good idea, like you do one of the other. You either get early access, or you can get early access at a higher price point, or you can have a slightly cheaper VIP, but then you don't have early access. No, please, no, sir. He's like, uh-oh, it'll come back on in a second. I think, hold on. I hear my little power supply. Hold on a second. Fred, look what you made me do. Come up. Kom my seentjie. Come. Food didn't last long enough. No, it didn't. Just give me a second. Fredness. Sometimes it does this, and the power supply that I have for it doesn't. I love it when we have technical problems during a live. It's always the most fun thing ever. I think maybe the power supply is getting a bit hot. There we go. Okay, well, I wanted to show you him walking across, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so we're done with circus. So almost, I think. Now you can check my middle parting. Is my middle parting straight? No. Okay. Giving it a good look-see. See, I feel like I need to do a little bit more on the C. Oh my word, it could be load shedding. Please not. Please, touch wood. Quick, do something. No. That's white. Oh, that's brown or burnt umber. Oh. This is the other black that I have, but it's like also almost empty. What is a lie without some tech problem? Literally. And luckily, I'm almost unflappable. So like it doesn't work me up to get tech problems because I'm just like, it happens. Considering that I'm in South Africa and the majority of people that are watching are like completely around the other side of the world, for me, having a tiny little tech problem is just, it still amazes me how this technology is even possible. I think it's incredible. So I'm just going to go around this one again. Because it doesn't quite look dark enough. We want it dark and lovely. That's kind of where spray paint really shines on these projects, because spray paint is just so quick and it's so nice and fun to do. I see a lot of people saying that they want the welcome to be in blue. I have a lighter blue that I can use. I will have enough black, I think. Now that this settled a little bit, it does feel like there's still quite a bit in the container. But do you guys reckon that we should do blue for the welcome? Let me know what you think. And that's another reason why I like live streams, is because you guys can like influence the project, you know? A live should be a real and natural rather than scripted. It's way more fun and relatable. I agree, Gina. Okay, so everybody's saying black. Another color word would make the circus stand out more. That's true. That's very true, Nancy. Everybody's saying black, though. Black, if enough. Black. Welcome, Karen. You like the lettering? I also like the lettering in black. I'm pretty sure there's going to be enough. If not, I can always go over it tomorrow or something like that with a different color. I mean, I can go to the shops and go and buy some more. So I'm just going to turn this around, being careful to not move it too much. And then we can start with the last or semi-last one, because we've got the yellow stars to do. The stars we can maybe do in blue. That would look quite fun. Okay, I'm going to let the paint settle. Oh, Judy. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I could help. Took your chemo meds and suck the life out of you. Oh, I can't imagine what that must be like. And good luck with the treatment. It must be really challenging. So well done to you. Okay, now here at this section is where we want to kind of be, especially if you want any of the little dot to like show through. Not much of it is going to end up showing through because it is quite intricate. But if we want any of it to come through, then we need to be very careful. I also like lives because it's kind of like crafting with your friends, you know? Crafting community can heal anything. Amazing. And they're working, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Okay. There we go. Well on our way to finishing this. It's only been 2.5 hours. Like I said, we want to do, I enjoy long live streams. So this is right up my alley. Normally, so I have a channel membership on YouTube, which is not like a specific membership for anything. It's just like a community kind of thing where every now and then I'll share a video on, you know, either what's going on, or they'll get an early preview of what I'm working on and things like that. And we do a live stream every month. I may struggle to do one this month, to be completely honest, but I think that should be all right. 1 month here and there. 1 month. I don't think I think I've missed one live before, and I've had the community, the membership for a couple of years. And we do regular lives that are like 2-3 hours long. It's quite fun. I really enjoy it. So some of the names that you'll see chatting in green, they are channel members. And it's a very cheap subscription. It's like 50 Rand a month, which is like $2 or $3, $3 or $4. And especially now, there's like years worth of videos, behind the scenes, live streams, all that kind of thing. Quite fun. One of the best parts of a live is the chat. I'm thankful for replays because you get a bit distracted by the chat. Yes, me too. I also occasionally, like especially now with Jennifer Maker's Merry Maker Mingle that she has on at the moment, I sometimes join while I'm working, and then I like chat in the live stream or something like that to you guys. And then I'm like, I should actually be working, but no, I'm just sitting here chatting away because it's so much fun. And I'm not focusing on what she's doing. I'm just like chatting to the people. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. So trying to just go a little bit at angles so that I can get the color a little bit more intense, because of course when it comes to using your brush, the color isn't as intense in the corners and things like that, you know. And I'm also trying to be a little bit more like conservative with the color, because I'm sure we'll make it. I'm sure we'll have enough, but I want to make sure that we have enough. Jennifer has to take it easy because of her health. I know. She really does. I'm surprised that she was doing Merry Maker Mingle, but I couldn't see her not doing it. She's just such a shining light. I can't wait to meet her one day. But yeah, I love seeing the support of everybody in the chat. Like I was watching the other day, and she had a cough. Or she coughed once or twice in the live stream, and everybody's like, drink some water, take a rest, take a break. I think for me, with all of the toxic communities out there in the world today, I'm just so grateful that you all are just so amazing and so kind and supportive and loving, and you know, you actually care, because there are so many people out there that are just out to like pull you down, and negativity and all of that kind of stuff. And just to have so many people that are genuinely concerned for somebody's health that you've never met, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Looks like we're going to have enough. What you can also do, if you really want to keep these like bubble sections, you can always go back in and put some the white on the corner. You end my events with be kind to someone today, because there just isn't enough kindness. We need more. I totally agree. I actually got that from another YouTuber that I watched. He gave me the idea. He's unfortunately no longer with us, but he has the Reptarium in, I want to say, Michigan. I think it's in Michigan. It's in that kind of section of the US. And he ended his videos, or at least in a few of his videos, he said something, be kind today or something. And then I was like, I like that. I really like that. So when I started, I was like, I want to do something similar. And that's why I kind of developed the be kind to someone. I feel like I should make a piece of merch that's like, be kind to someone today, because it's so generic, it's so universal, you know. Wasn't it closer to Rhode Island? I'm not sure. You watch what craft groups you belong to, because there are so many negative Nancy's. Oh my word, yes. They'd rather pick somebody apart than give someone helpful advice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think it's also, it comes down to the person monitoring the group. Because if you don't monitor those kinds of groups, and you don't watch who is posting what, where they're posting, how, what they're saying to people, then you let those people in, and obviously they just stay and they just mess up the experience for everybody else. So a lot of it comes down to the management of the group as well, or the space. Because if I had somebody in my space that was being rude to somebody else, I would kick them out immediately. I don't have tolerance. There is no reason to be rude to somebody. I understand we all have bad days, and 9 times out of 10, when we lash out at somebody, it's got nothing to do with the person that we're lashing out at. But there is no reason to be rude to somebody else. If you've got problems, you can sort them out internally. And a lot of us, we tend to take these kinds of things personally as well, very personally. Because, I mean, our crafts are like kind of part of us, So when somebody doesn't, insults you or something like that, it's almost like they're attacking you personally. And that's also not okay. Okay, so we had enough black, which was great. Now I'm just going to go back in and see what sections I can maybe touch up a little bit, add in some more where I was being a little bit schnoop. I definitely am going to need more soon though, because there's not very much left. I think the tops of these aren't going to come out all that dark. It's going to be very faded because there's not enough color going in the top around that little section. I think maybe a smaller brush would work better here if you're going to get into those little sections. Did some of the black get on that one flag? Not really. A tiny little bit, but not really. Not all that much. Oh, but the next live stream is going to be very fun. If it pans out the way that I'm hoping it's going to pan out, then it's going to be very, very fun. So that's going to be on Thursday night. So you guys must definitely make a plan to join. And then Saturday night's live stream is going to be a VIP only live stream. So those of you who are in the VIP will get the link in your VIP portal and over email. And then you'll be able to join. So that'll be a quieter, softer live stream. Oh, I know that there are going to be sections and I'm going to want to touch up afterwards. But if I carry on touching up, we will be here all night, people, all night. Because I'm just like, I want to fret about the tiny little pieces, you know. I'm going to do the stars quickly. But that's like on its last legs. There's like almost nothing. And there's not a schedule. I probably could make one, but I don't know. That's probably a good idea. But I mean, it's just every second day, and then there's a video every day until the 19th. So, and I haven't really released the topics. I've released teaser photos, so you can go and check them out on the registration page, but I haven't, and the schedule page. And I so love me not using a palette so much less to clean up. I know. Straight out of the bottle. You don't need a palette in this kind of project. It's just straight out of the bottle. And I also have this. It's just a craft mat kind of thing. So a craft mat, a craft craft paper towel or whatever, but it's like nice and thick, so it doesn't tear when you get it with water. I don't know if you guys have it in the US. I would imagine you do have something. You're on the East Coast. What time does it start? East Coast, I think it's noon. Yes, Nancy, I think you're right. I love that I'm using it straight from the tube. Yay! We're all about efficiency over here, and I mean, just putting it onto something else, just not of them, not efficient. I love efficiency, which is why I've enjoyed putting this event together, because it's all about efficiency and getting the things done. Okay, so we said yellow. Did we say yellow or blue for the stars? How is the stencil stuck down? Hi, Cindy. Welcome. We stuck it down with, it's vinyl. So it's just adhesive vinyl. So we're just going to do the stars and then we're done. So it shouldn't be much longer. Less wasted paint using straight from the tube. Exactly, Catherine. I could do some. Okay, well, everybody's saying there's 3 yellows already. I wonder if I can do polls from StreamYard. I don't think so. Okay, everybody's saying yellow. I suppose yellow would be quite fun. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough yellow. Do you guys think this is going to be enough yellow for all of those stars? I'm not quite sure. Oh gosh. And this is like practically full as well. So that's quite funny. Maybe. Nope. Yep. Oh. Wow. I got a whole bunch of yellow on my hand. I mean, it's painting, obviously. And, oh, okay. I got a tiny little bit on my shirt, but it's... I should have been wearing my elf apron. Like, what a wasted opportunity. Wasted opportunity. Anyway. So now this one has a little cap thingy. Let me just pull this out. a little bit so that you guys can see. Yeah, there definitely wasn't enough on my hand. But it's got a little cap, so at least I can move the cap out of the way and just splosh the yellow straight onto the mat. So that we don't have to worry about cleanup. It also makes it go so much quicker. I'm just like my dad. What did Judy say? I want to see what Judy said. Glow in the dark. I love my humor. Oh, yeah, you love my humor. Thank you. Yeah, I've got my dad's sense of humor. That's where I learned it. All the dad jokes, everything. I wonder if these are just going to look like globs. I wonder if they're actually even going to look like stars. They should, though. Okay. I'm somewhere going to turn it. Oh, there's another one over there on the side. We can do that one as well, and then we turn it over, turn it around. Let's hope they don't just look like globules. You can always make them a little bit bigger if you wanted them to look a little bit more like stars. You should see my painting apron. It's full of paint. Well, that's good. That means it's serving its purpose. Did you scrape off the black from that stop? No, Diana. It's dry. Has it dried? No, not really. It's fine. I'll do that last. And then we can see how it goes. Maybe I'll just dump a whole bunch of yellow paint on afterwards and then just cover up the star. I do definitely get tons. I mean, look at my hands. Sam? Yes? What? Now Sam has come for a munch. There we go. Now he's wanting some nice foodies as well. See, they look almost identical. It's actually quite crazy. They're not related in any way. And they are the same color and everything. It's weird. It's very weird. Your stars have to be bigger because they are big and bright. Netsuer. Sorry, which means yes, exactly. It's so funny because like Afrikaans is such an expressive language. And I very often I'm so used to, expressing things in Afrikaans that I forget sometimes what the English word is. Paper crafting is very much neater, Anne. Oh my word. So much neater. Except for glue, I suppose, but glue also comes off a lot easier. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. Okay, I'm going to do that one last. I'm going to let that little section try and pull out as much of the black as possible. Okay. There we go. I heard you had a colleague ask me today, what is the English of per ongeluk? was emailing emailing a report of an incident. Oh, shame. It happens to me sometimes too. I'm English, and yet I can only get the Afrikaans word, and I'm just like sitting there thinking, what is exactly the same? Per ongeluk. What does that mean? Okay. You asked your daughter if she knew about robots in Africa. She said matter of factly. She said yes. I love that. I love that. Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, yesterday I was actually looking at, oh, I know, Laurie, me too. We're on the last star. This is the last star, right? We've done everything else. We're on the last star. So I'll zoom it out when we reveal. I was actually looking yesterday at safari rates in the Kruger. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. Because the problem is that the Kruger National Park is obviously where we have, it's kind of like our most beautiful national park in South Africa, from what I understand. But it's also horrifically expensive because it's a lot. I'm very, very grateful for tourists, but it is obviously a very touristy place because that's where people, when they come to South Africa, they want to see the animals and things like that. That's where they want to go. I almost had a heart attack at the prices. But I suppose I was also looking at things that were like really expensive. So it was like this private place where you get a butler and like tours daily, and it includes flights and shuttle service and all that kind of stuff. It was $2,000. I think that was a night, but it was only for 3 nights. But I almost had a heart attack. Okay. Are you guys ready? Is this going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Are we going to care? Absolutely not. Okay. Let's put that in there. Are you guys ready for me to take the sheet off, the vinyl? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Your daughter was at Cape Town, did the safari to go along the marathon. Okay, that's cool. Yes, Cindy says she's ready. Sarah's ready. Laurie's ready. Isabel says it'll be great. Yay. Okay, hold on. I think, no, I'll clean my hands afterwards because I just want to see the reveal of this. We finally get, Laurie's ready. You're ready, Santa. It'll be perfectly imperfect. I agree, Judy. I agree. Okay. So we're going to start at the bottom and we're just going to pull. I wonder if I should take these off first. Let me just do these first quickly, because otherwise I don't want to have to go back over that once. I think that would ruin the effect if I have to go back over that. Now at least we'll get the final reveal, the proper. Come here. Look at my fingers. Okay. I'm going to put that over there. Your hands are going to get so painty. I know. It's fine. It's water-based paint. It's all right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm complete, like I haven't frozen. I'm actually shocked. This is so gorgeous. I say that like I didn't expect it to be bought. And of course, that's now waste. But look at how amazing that is. And it actually lined up really well around here, which I'm very impressed with. I really, really like how the bubbles came out here as well. I think that they actually came out really well. I wasn't expecting them to come out that good. You could do a red and alternating bunch. Yes, you could. You could do white, and then afterwards you could go back in and paint those with red, or you could do red and then go in and paint them with white. Absolutely. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving the love that you guys are giving to this project. And you guys can make this yourself. I mean, it took a while. It took us like 3 hours to do the whole project. I mean, 2.5. It would probably take you about 2 hours if you went a little bit faster. And, you know, what, you weren't chatting or taking cat breaks. The trim. I love the trim as well. I think it just brightens the whole thing up. And I'm also glad that we did the yellow stars around it. I think the yellow stars really look good. Oh, you love to try different types of projects. Oh, I'm so glad, Laurie. Me too. Like, there's just so many different things that we can do with our Cricuts other than make t-shirts and things like that, which is why I didn't really want to include those kinds of things in this event, because so many of us, you know, can make t-shirts and whatnot. But mats, and I mean, yesterday we did the slippers. These aren't the kind of things that you see all the time, and they're unique. They're different. Our Cricut machines are so versatile. As much as I love making t-shirts and things like that, it's so much cooler to use our Cricut for things like this. And you could sell this. I mean, I would if you do sell it, I would potentially recommend doing the black with spray paint, just purely because of the time factor. But you could easily sell this. We love our safaris, not cheap. Yeah, definitely. I'm so glad, Debbie. Please show me a photo. Please show me what it looks like. If you don't want to post it publicly, you're welcome to send it to me privately. I try and check messages as often as I can. You can only have so many t-shirts. I agree. You actually made all your Christmas cards. Oh, that's cool. That's so awesome. See, the thing is that Christmas cards aren't really a thing down here in South Africa. And if they are, I don't think I've ever received a Christmas card. Ever. So it would be a completely new experience for me. Oh, I love these wipes, these craft wipes. I mean, it'll come off in the shower when I shower now. But it's just so much easier to take most of it. T-shirts are so overdone. Yeah, they are almost overdone. I mean, it's different when you do like a new technique on a t-shirt or something like that. But most of the time, I don't really like just doing plain t-shirts. I like doing fun stuff. That's because our postal service doesn't exist. We can fix that. Exactly. I agree, Diana. I also wasn't expecting to get as much detail, especially at the top. I think I could do a better job at the stars, but I think they look okay. These craft wipes are amazing, but they're South African. So they're essentially just baby wipes, but they have alcohol. Yeah. So, I mean, I suppose you could probably just take baby wipes and just pour in ethanol alcohol or something like that. Oh, shame, Catherine. Oh, shame, Julie. I mean, I probably could ask my mom if I could use her post box. But I wouldn't want to flood her poor post box. We have a postal service? Yeah, I know. I agree, Delvin. Completely. It's funny because we have courier companies like run the world here in South Africa, and they've started putting limits on things that the courier companies are allowed to do because they're putting the postal service out of work, but the postal service is out of work because they're terrible, it's very much like a Oh, shame, Julie. I'll find out from my mom if I can share her PO box. I don't want to get a PO box because then it would probably never be used. She has a PO box because she uses it for work. So I'll find out from her if she minds, and then I'll share it if you guys want to. No, like literally no pressure though. Oh, I'm so chuffed with this, you guys. I almost don't want to leave because I'm having so much fun. Now I'm just going to let it dry. And of course, like I said, you could totally spray something over it, sealer. This line is definitely a little bit pink. But I think also because we went very carefully in the areas, it came out so well. So I think that's amazing. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so glad you also stayed, Bobby. Are they like baby wipes, like wet ones? Yeah, they're wet wipes. I mean, my hands are almost clean. I think I just dirtied my hands again now. But they're like almost perfectly clean now. Look at that. Okay, well, a little bit. I kind of abused that one little wet wipe. Can't see the pink on camera. No, you definitely can't. Let me see if you can see it up close. Up close, yeah, you can kind of see it just a little bit here. Just a little bit. I'm so glad, Ruth. The reveal was the best. Yes, I totally agree. I almost want to take the recording of that and like make it into a reel or something. That would be so much fun. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for joining. I had an absolute blast of a time, and I'm so grateful that you guys were all here. And my head has been stuck behind my little name. Media accents. How do I get the thingy away? Style. Block. Show display names. I could have taken it away this whole time. What a chop. Anyway, doesn't matter. You guys know what I look like. I can't wait for you guys to see tomorrow's project. I think today's was probably one of my favorites. So if you guys do make some slippers, please share them with me. I can't wait to see what you make. And I know that it'll take some time for like things to arrive and orders to be made, and you guys to receive things and whatnot. But I'm very excited for you guys to make something like this. I almost don't even want to put it out because I don't want it to get wrecked. But we'll always have the memories. We'll always have the live stream. So once again, thank you so much for joining. I very, very much appreciate you guys all being here. Don't forget to grab if you guys want to be able to watch the replay and see, this in real time and watch it again, just for the tips and tricks and things like that, you guys can. It will be up in the VIP pass. I'm going to try and download it tonight and upload it tonight so that we can see. And then you guys will be able to watch that. So it'll be available for 48 hours for you guys to watch publicly, and then it'll be available in the VIP pass. So don't forget to check out the VIP pass. I think there is a link down in the description. This started almost 3 hours ago, Michelle. So if you guys want to grab the VIP pass, let me just share the link with you quickly. There we go. That is where you guys can grab the VIP pass. It is discounted until the end of the summit, where the early bird discount is going to fall away and it'll go up to full price. So it's discounted to $29 at the moment. And there's lots of bonuses. I'm pretty sure I can change it to like over 80 SVGs at this point. I've also included extended workbooks. So instead of just the bullet points, you guys get a much more extended, extensive, involved workbook to be able to redo the projects. You get all the lifetime of replays. There's 2 bonus workshops in there. There is a chat helper GPT. So it's a little chat GPT that you can go and ask it questions and it'll help you with your projects. There are commercial licenses. There's a discount to any of my products. And yeah, there's lots of stuff in the VIP pass, and I think it's really competitively priced. So, and I think there's lots and lots of value in there. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining. I will see you tomorrow for another video where we'll premiere live, and then I will be in the chat to answer any questions that you may have. And then, of course, you can post in the Facebook group or send me an email at any time, support@kellyrossouw.com. And I'll be able to help you. Myself or Audrey will be able to help you out. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'll see you very, very soon. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.